Hi all, so this is a video of me doing some warm-up stretches and getting back into Modern Violin after Baroque Violin, 2 weeks on Baroque Violin. So first thing I always do before I play anything is I do shoulder rolls. They really help my tight neck and my tight shoulders. I do them forward and backwards, and then I always go into my wrists. I roll them around, and then the 3 hand stretches, stretching with your palms up, your palms down, and your palms turned over. And then I stretch my arms back behind me with my hands linked. You can't see them. But I stretch my arms behind my back for at least 20 seconds. Then I stretch my back forwards, then to the side, and the other side. Here is me showing the stretches from a better angle. The side ones, more shoulder rolls. You can never do enough shoulder rolls, in my opinion. And then I always stretch my neck, holding my shoulder down with my arm. Stretch one way and the other way. And then if you turn your head to the side a bit and down, you get a good shoulder release, which I do a lot of. And then I swing my arms back and forth a lot. I swing them around in a circle, alternating my arms, alternating which arm is on top, etc., etc. My shoulders, again, and then my feet. I start with just moving them back and forth, and then I end up jogging in place. But I just kind of roll my feet and my legs. I roll my legs in a circle. You can't see it, but... And then I bounce like this, just to get your circulation going. I shake out my hands. I bounce around a lot. Do some jumping jacks maybe, sometimes, not all the time. Hop from foot to foot. More shoulder rolls. And then I link my hands behind my head, and I go forward and back. This is just to open the chest. And then I like to roll down and just hang for a few minutes. Feels really good. I loosen my knees and my legs and my neck and my arms, and then I slowly roll up and do more shoulder rolls. And that's generally all the warm-up exercises that I do. There are more, but those are the main ones. One thing to note about my feet is that I try and keep them centered. So when I stand to play the violin, I make sure they are centered and my knees bent and soft a little bit. And I was always taught while I lose my balance that there is a triangle between the knuckles here and the back of the heel, and you just center your foot on that and bend your knees a little, and try and play the Saint-Saëns Sonata No. 1. Or, at the very least, some open strings to remind yourself that you're not playing Baroque violin, where the bow is different. You are playing, well, modern violin. I always do this little finger exercise, which helps warm up my finger patterns for classical music, but can also be helpful for fiddle music. Just, hand positioning, finger warm-ups, etc., etc. I also love to move my fingers fast. So there's this little exercise where you go through all the fingers. It's kind of hard. But I also just like to play scales quickly in first position and, just getting the fingers moving, basically. And reminding myself where all the notes are. Then I'm ready to start on some fiddle warm-ups. So I like to do some practice with cuts, like this, sort of. I wasn't doing it that well that day, but, I was just getting back into Modern Violin, so, and then maybe some Strathspey rhythm warm-ups as well, just trying to feel my bow arm and how that's different from how you do it in Baroque. And maybe some improv worked in, to warm up the mind. I don't know. And then I play some tunes. Some reels, some jigs, common ones, just still warming up. I love playing tunes first before I play classical. sense. And of course I always play scales, not like this, but yeah, I do scales, the Galamian style, because I'm classical, I can't help it. But yeah, that was footage of me warming up after having played Baroque violin for 2 weeks and switching back to modern. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.